Hey everybody, happy Thursday. Hope everybody is having an awesome week. Brandon here. I am excited for this stream because we have gotten to a really good point with the Brew Buddy project, especially after Monday. If you were on Monday, and welcome to the folks that are on, please definitely feel free to say hey in chat if you're here. Would love to hear from you. Hey, Siva, happy Thursday to you as well. Thank you. I hope you're having an awesome week. I hope you're ready for the weekend. I am super excited. Hey, Grogard, welcome, .commie. Good to see y'all. I will share a little bit later about sort of the craziness of my week because it's been kind of a nutty week so far, but was jazzed with sort of the way the stream went on Monday. I know that we hit a little bit of a hitch. This usually happens. I think I've noticed a bit of this pattern where I'll hit a hitch in projects sort of towards the end of a stream, walk away, fix it a little bit later, and I'm happy to come back on and say, look, everybody, we got it working. So that's sort of where we are, and that's what I want to do today, is recap that. And sort of get things wrapped up, get a pull request submitted into Electric.io, into Suze's awesome project. But I want to share some of that first. So you can see from my screen, I do actually have a release up on the Brew Buddy repo, which I'll share that here. Oh, not twice, just once. No. Of course it's going to do that in chat. The latest release actually does include cloud-to-device message support. Those of you all that have been here for the last couple of weeks know that there have been some fits and starts with the cloud-to-device stuff. Never could get direct messages working through Azure IoT Hub. And my whole motivation was not only to show dashboards here, but really to make this more of a control panel than just a dashboard for my device. And that device in question is one that's sitting precariously here. Let me change. I meant to just double check the camera before we started, but that device is this wonderful little beast sitting here that we've been messing with for the last several weeks. So I'm pulling in sensor data, but what I wanted to do as well was actually to make this a control panel, to make Electric.io actually work the other way around. And we're there. We got that working. So let's recap a little bit of what we did on Monday. There's a few pieces, and I'll share that through sort of the context of the changes that were made to Electric.io. This is the source code here for Electric.io. A few different things that we did. We created a new route. And let me just go ahead and make this full screen so that we can take a look at it here. I created a new route to handle calling device messages. Grogard asked, what do you use for the UI on the web portion? So that's actually what I'm showing right now. This is Electric.io, which is a awesome, hey Joe, how's it going? Welcome. With your always using the take NRG. Is it take NRG. Have you looked up, Joe, the story behind that one? I've always wondered. And I always forget to look until you come in and throw that down. And then I forget. I forget to look again. Hold on, I'm getting texted. What's going on? Oh, all right. Just got a text. So yeah, Grogard, this is, oh yeah, it's okay. So Grogard, I appreciate you asking because I do try to kind of do recaps at the beginning, and I also tried really hard, but I also try not to for those of you all that are here all the time, not to bore everybody with get to what you're doing. So striking a bit of a balance for sure. Definitely no worries for asking. So this is electric.io.com. Thanks for throwing in the link, and I will add a shout out to NewOp Cat. So this is a project that Suze Hinton created. It uses Azure IoT Hub. which is great. So as long as you can get data in Azure IoT Hub, and of course there is a built-in integration for particle devices for Azure IoT Hub. So I have that set up from the particle console. I can go into integrations, and I have a bunch of these set up for brewing. This is all set up in Azure IoT Hub. So anytime it gets a sensor reading, it actually just throws that right in to Azure IoT Hub, which then Electric IO can pull in. So that actually gives me access to individual devices here, and I can pull properties off of payloads and show that here on my dashboards. And of course, it also has animated GIF support. And any tool that is worth its salt has to have animated GIF support, or I'm not going to use it. Maybe you all don't feel the same way, but GIF support's important to me. So yeah, great tool. The one nuance here, and this is where we've been in the last week or so, the one nuance is that Electric IO does have this button card type, but by default, the button cards only supported calling direct messages from the Azure IoT Hub. And I wanted to add cloud to device message support. If you'll recall, when we were messing with the BrewBuddy firmware, I never actually could get cloud to like direct. This never worked for me, calling direct messages from Azure IoT Hub. But I could get device-bound messages, or what they call C to D or cloud to device messages. That does work. That piece actually does work. And so what I wanted to do in Electric IO was to modify these button cards to support cloud to device messages. And so we have that now. So if you actually go into any one of these button cards, there's now a drop down to select either direct message or cloud to device message. You can pass in a message payload, and in this case it's brew. In this case, my message payload is ferment, and then it's stop for this one here. So the changes that I made in Electric IO are to add this route, right? So that I can actually, which calls the IoT Hub service to call a device message. I did a little bit of cleanup. You may have noticed here, I did some changes in this payload piece to change the name of this, because now the payload is shared between direct messages and cloud messages. So that's really all that's happening there in routes. The simulated hub, I haven't actually tested yet, so I need to do that as well. And then the live hub. So let me actually make a note for myself to test the simulated Notion. I'm gonna pull up on my Notion dashboard. Hopefully not right here in front of me. Yeah, that goes in the other window. So when that opens, I need to make a note for myself to test the simulated hub. And then the live hub, which actually just does client.send. That's the important piece there. That was all on the backend side. And then on the UI side, there's a few minor changes that I made. I don't think I did anything here. Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh yeah, hold on. All right, I'll go back. That's a linter thing. So give me just a second. So I changed this from device method payload to call payload, since, as I mentioned, the payload's being shared. That's really the only change that took place here, other than what my linter did automatically. And then there's two pieces. There's the button card setting. This is the button card template. And then there's the actual button settings template, which is what you show when you are changing the options. The button card setting is pretty basic. I'm just pulling in, just setting an API. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm doing a bit of logic on the actual base, right? So when this is called, because I'm calling one of two endpoints based on what's been selected here. If your call type is method, then this is the endpoint. This is effectively what was there before. But if your call type is a message, then I'm passing in something different. And that's all that happens here. It's just fetching with the API URL. So I feel like that's all relatively straightforward, or at least it has made sense in my head, but let's actually test it out really quick. This is the important piece, right? This is the dun-dun-dun-dun moment. Well, you all have been waiting. Well, what I have been waiting, you all might be like humoring me over the course of the last couple of weeks as I've been going through messing with this. Oh, look at that. There's a new feature that showed up in the dashboard. That's cool. All right. So here's the piece. I'm going to check the temperature call. Oh, yeah, that's not giving me anything right now because it's not going. I'm going to make sure you get to the right view here so you all can see it. All right. So here we go. So assuming that this all didn't break in the last few minutes. When I click Start Brew, that's going to send a message here. I'm going to click that. Done. Derp. Come on. Cloud to device message, method name brew. Start brew. Done. Oh, of course. Demos never work when other people are watching, do they? I'll just get the device reset and back online. Oh, duh. I know. Who has that heck emote? That's right. That would be Robert Tables. That's Robert Tables' emote. I know, right? Well, I have this. Well, not an emote, but I have like the automated like play the table flip. This isn't quite a table flip moment, but I'll allow it. I'm gonna allow it for myself. Girl guard. I always get a strange error I've never seen before whenever I show my wife what I've been working on. I can see that. It's crazy. It's crazy how that happens. Oh yeah, I gotta remember that one. The the flip this emoticon. That's a good one, .com. I like that. All right. I do, however, know what the issue is. I need to do a quick firmware update. At least I know what the problem is. The problem is actually my shared access token in Azure IoT Hub. So I need to generate another one. Generate SAS token. Give me that SAS token and give me 96 hours. No, let's go crazy. Give me 124 hours. And secrets. Yeah, hold on just a second. Get that token. Hey, Frackberg, how's it going? Grogard, yeah, just like I can type 90 words per minute until someone is watching me, and lucky I get to 9. Okay, Frackberg, well then, absolutely. I don't make nearly as many typos when I'm writing code unless I'm live streaming. And I'm like backing up, going up, back, you know, it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. My wife will give me a look after that failed the demo. It makes me feel the same. See, but yeah, that's right. That's right. I swear it was just working a minute ago. I swear it was. All right, I'm copying in this updated shared access signature. And then I will bring you all back into the fold. Okay. This is why we have these debug messages, right? So let's do a flash. Oh, I forgot. I was going to show y'all. I actually did get my... See, this is why I had an error, because I forgot to put on my coding safety glasses. I do have coding safety glasses now. Let's see how long I can leave these on. So y'all see the reflection of the screen. And they actually are. They're legit safety glasses, so none of the code gets in here through the side. So none of that bad code gets in there or on that side. It's perfect. Yeah, I thought you'd appreciate those, .com. Thank you. All right. We should be back in business. Let's watch the dashboard. Let's watch the dashboard. That's right. I should change, I probably should change the Cyan Panda emote to like the Cyan Panda with some coding safety glasses, right? There we go. That's the nice MQTT message. So now we're in good shape. So now, folks, are you ready? Now we should be able to do this. And yes, brew. We've got the control panel going. So that works. And I can say stop, and it stops. Kapow! That's right. Start fermenting. And ferment. Now we go into fermentation mode. And the device goes to sleep. And I wake it back up, tapping that piezo like usual. It's great. It works, it works, it works. I'm excited. Yeah, so we have cloud to device messaging working here inside of Electric IO. I'm not quite ready to submit this pull request because like I mentioned, there are a few things that I want to fix. Not fix. Well, actually, there is one bug. That's a triple kapow. I like it. Kapow, kapow, kapow. Oh, Frackberg. That was so nice. Oh, the bits for fermentation. Oh, thank you so much, Frackberg. That was so very kind of you. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm back into fermentation. I love it. Thank you, Grogart. Okay, so those pieces are done, which is great. I do. Let me make myself. Come on. What's today? Today's the 21st, right? Make some notes for myself. .com, good question. What did I have to change from the last stream to get it working again? On the Electric IO side, Frackberg, well, I'd sub, but insult to injury, right after I bought a car, my garage door breaks. Ah, you were saying earlier this week that you actually were trying to automate your garage door. Or no, you're trying to fix it. And it's still broken, huh? Sorry to hear that, Frackberg. And don't worry at all. I appreciate I just appreciate you hanging out. Don't even fret it. So .commie, I didn't change anything on the firmware side in order to get it working, but what I did end up changing on the on here was on the Electric IO side. I needed to add on the button settings. It was this. It was basically just getting this call type correct. You broke Frackberg. I broke it more. I did automate it in terms of I bought a Z-Wave switch for it. It works with my Haas.ios. Oh, cool. Or Haas.io. Nice. So .commie, this was the piece that was this Vue.js piece that was broken, or that I wasn't quite working yet towards the end of the stream last time, and so I just needed to get my binds correct. So what I did was I added this data object that sets a default selected type, and this is one of the things I need to fix. and then provides the type options for direct method or cloud to device message. So this piece right here. And then specifies the options here, including selected option value, the vbind selected. So there's a few. Yeah. Oh, and then I also added this here, a VF or VElse, if the selected type was a method or a message, right? So if you selected a method, then this says what's the method payload. You change this to a message, the function name goes away because you don't need that for this case. And then the method in this changes to message payload. So those are the pieces that were modified there. So yeah, good question. Thanks for asking. So in terms of what needs to change this time before I can check this in, I do want to check. So test SimHub, and then the other piece is actually fixing the call type. So the most obvious and annoying thing that I need to fix now for myself is, here's what I want to do today ultimately. If you click on edit here, that is button type, and I change this to, direct message, hit save, and I hit edit again, it goes back to direct method. So this needs to actually persist. What I selected needs to persist between me saving these. So that's one thing, and let's hope that's minor. I want to test the SimHub, the simulator, or the SimHub, not the LiveHub version in Electric IO. And then on here, actually on the firmware itself, I want to change my payloads. Right now, I have separate integrations and separate payloads for passing in things like brew temp and fermentation rate. I want to add that all into one payload because I think that's why I was getting the NaN error here. And I want to at least have some sense of this over time, So that's what I am planning for today. But starting with the Electric IO piece. So I'm back in here. And let me go back to just my code screen. So you'll notice that, okay, anytime I come in here, I'm returning, I have a selected type of method, that's my default. And here, let me open up my View DevTools so that we can actually see what's happening here as well. I was messing with this last time and the View DevTools not opening for me. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to actually go into like, hold on. I need to do, what did I do? There we go, node environment development, npm start. The View DevTools are disabled by default. All right. I had this happen the other day where I couldn't actually get the View DevTools to open. They just were. Hi, Dremic. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Dremic, yeah, I don't know if I'm... Please tell me if I'm mispronouncing your name, but hello, welcome. Thanks for coming and hanging out today. We appreciate it. Oh, God, that's not what I want. I just want to open the View DevTools. Is this going to be the thing that kills me today? Dremic, thanks so much for the follow. I'm the first one to read your name right. Ah, all right. Well, I appreciate that. As someone who has his last name mispronounced constantly, that makes me feel good. I was glad I was able to do that. Okay, more tools. More tools. I mean, just give me the View DevTools. Oh, good gravy. Open DevTools and look for the View panel. Is that not what I did? I mean, this is one of those things that used to be patently obvious where the View DevTools were. And I swear they weren't there a minute ago. You saw it. How's the coding going? It's going well, Dremic, appreciate it. We're actually just getting started today. I did a bit of a demo, but I am working on this project here on my desk. Here's the large, oh, the big camera is not cooperating today. But this is the Brew Buddy. It is a homebrew monitoring project. And I have got it hooked up to Azure IoT Hub through the Particle Device Cloud. I have this Electric I/O dashboard as sort of my control panel of sorts. And now we're just doing a little bit of, oh, look, fermentation rate is there. Now we're just doing a little bit of debugging. I actually have made a change to Electric I/O, to this tool that's doing the dashboards right now. And I am I'm going through and making a change. I am going to submit a pull request in a bit, but there's a few things that I want to clean up. Frackberg asking, I'm curious, I've been saying Satrum in my head. Am I wrong? You are incorrect. It's actually Satrum. However, I will say this. So it's Satrum, and it is actually a Norwegian last name. So my family hails like partly from Norway and partly from Ireland and Scotland. And it's I say Brandom. Brandom. Now that would be funny, .com-y, because I go on tangents all the time, so it could be like random, I don't know. Like I'm going on a tangent right now. Dremic, I don't understand crap because I just started coding, but it looks hella cool. Oh, well, welcome, awesome. What are you learning, Dremic? What are you messing with? I'd love to hear sort of what kind of coding you're doing. And while you're answering, I'm going to keep going on my tangent that Frackberg has sent me on. So I went to Oslo, Norway last year for the NDC Oslo conference, which I'm speaking at again this year. I'm super excited about. I love that conference. And it is trippy as hell to be in Oslo in June and it'd be like 11 o'clock at night and the sun is still up. Tangent of a tangent. Anyway, I was in Oslo last year and I met some folks at a makerspace there. There's a really awesome makerspace in Oslo called Bitroff. Bitroff, right? Oslo. So this is the Bitroff makerspace. 100% member-run makerspace. So like they don't have an executive director. Like they do everything themselves, and they're amazing. So I went and visited the makerspace, and I met some really cool folks there. One of the people that I met there was a gentleman by the name of Oyvind Dahl. And Oyvind actually creates books. I have this book. This is a great book, by the way. It's called Electronics for Kids. I highly recommend. I'm tangenting all over the place, but I will get there. I have to like make these recommendations. Yeah, I bought this book like 2 years ago. Electronics for Kids, Play with Simple Circuits and Experiment with Electricity. Cool book. First project in this book is building an intrusion detection system like with your kids, like a 9-volt battery and a huge piezo buzzer building an intrusion detection system. So I met Oyvind. He works at this makerspace. And we got to talking, and we talked about how, my last name, that I have family that come from Norway, and my last name is Satram, what have you. And he says, oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. That's interesting. I can see how your name would have come from Norway, generations ago. Maybe Satram. Satram would be the correct pronunciation. And I'm like, all my life, I've been telling people it's Satram, and here I find out that in the home country, we got it wrong. The Americans, the people that immigrated, we got it wrong. Anyway, cool. Fragberg, I have a Swiss last name, so it tends to not be pronounced correctly, I understand. Yeah, it happens. It's okay. We're all figuring out how to pronounce things correctly, right? 11 p.m. sunlight is weird. It does throw off the internal clock. And what was a real bummer is I got there on like a Monday, and I actually had a meeting with some folks at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And so I got to the hotel and I had time, and I was supposed to go to bed. I was going to go to bed at like 8 o'clock, but I couldn't because the sun was still up. I just sat in the hotel room and worked. And then I finally went to bed at like 11, but I had to get up for this meeting at 1 o'clock. I have the meeting at 1:30. I try to go back to bed. I couldn't go back to sleep. And the sun is up at like 3. So that was a rough day. I'm going back. I'm giving myself more time this year. It should be a lot more relaxing for me. Let's hope so. Guess we'll find out. So, all right, I have the Vue DevTools open now, and where I'm at this point is I want to. All right, I need to get this call type loaded. So you'll notice that the device ID, I have 2 devices here in my Azure IoT account. One is a test device for a Node app that I was messing with. And then the other is the actual physical device. This is the BrewBuddy device. But that's actually coming as a prop. So the reason that that's being saved properly is because it's being managed elsewhere. And you'll see that's in the DevTools that actually shows up as part of the device list, right? Fragberg, Norway is one of the places I didn't get to visit when I went to Europe. I hope to do that someday. Oh, I loved it. Fragberg, it was so cool. That was my first time to the Nordics, and it was really neat. I've been all over Europe, but that was really cool. Where did you go, Fragberg? Where else in Europe? Dremic, do I have any experience with JavaScript? Yes. Yes, Dremic. I would say, I'm not going to say you've come to the right place because there are people that are much smarter than me. I am actually more of I am a full stack all over the place developer. I do hardware, I do firmware, software. Most of my experience is actually in JavaScript. Most of my career I've been a web developer. I'm learning it, and I need some tips from experienced masters. I am an experienced amateur. How about that? No, I am ask questions. Feel free to hit me up. If it's later, you want to send whispers on Twitch, what have you. Always happy to give help. My Twitter handle is up at the top. That at Brandon Satram. You can find me on Twitter and Twitch there as well. I'm always happy to help. There's a lot of great JavaScript stuff out there. And yes, Jesse Skinner, definitely follow Jesse Skinner. They do a lot of really awesome stuff. Been to UK, France, Germany, Switzerland, Spain, Italy, and Greece. Awesome. I have never been to France or Spain. I've been to the UK, Germany as well, and Switzerland, and Clarkeo. Yeah, Siva, that's another good recommendation. I think, I don't know if, that shouldn't be a mod-only command. Really? Hold on, Siva. Maybe it's, I didn't think that was like a mod. You want to try it again, Siva? Yes, Clarkio as well does a ton of great JavaScript stuff. Um, so, still want to hit Ireland. Oh, yeah. So, Frackberg, NodeConf EU is in Ireland this year in November, and I was going to submit to it because Ireland is high on the list. Ireland, Scotway. Something else you're blanking on. I don't know. You named most of the European countries. There's some really cool. Eastern Europe is awesome, as well. I highly recommend that. Jeremic, do you think it's worth buying a book to learn JavaScript, HTML, and CSS because I'm young and I want to learn? So Frackberg's advice is good. If you learn well from books, absolutely. This probably come as no surprise given what's behind me. I am a very big fan of books. So I would always recommend books. And there are some great JavaScript books out there. In fact, I'll be right back. There are a lot of great JavaScript books, some that I no longer have. Like I will buy books and then I don't keep them forever. This is a great book, Secrets of the JavaScript Ninja. This is the second edition, right? Second edition from John Ressig, Bear Bibalt, and Josip Maras. That's a great book. I highly recommend that one. I do most of my, I'm reading a book on machine learning right now. And so I do a mix. And Code Academy is a great resource that Fracker recommended. Highly recommend Code Academy. Another one is code.org. This is a cool... Is that right? Code.org is more of Code.org is good too. I've got this, I'm actually getting this set up for my kids, for them to do stuff as well. But Code.org or Code Academy is really good. If you have the means to, if you have the ability to get a subscription that's either paid for by a school or a company, or you can do so, Pluralsight is a great resource as well for learning. But I do most of my learning through a combination of coursework, books, and then videos. I love doing video courses. I'm getting more into doing video courses as well. So Frackberg, I don't know how to read, so books are harder for me. That's all right. I'm a slow reader too. I love books so much, but I'm a very, very slow reader. Because I get sort of in my own head and I get distracted. Do you think I get distracted? Can you believe it? Brandon gets distracted when he's reading? Yeah, distracted when I do everything. Speaking of getting distracted, all right, so I'm in the card. I want to get to my actual card here, base card. This is the card. Okay. Pluralsight has free weekends. I went through some of their stuff. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Pluralsight has awesome free weekends. Yeah, Dremic, it's 2:30 here. I'm in Austin, beautiful Austin, Texas, where it's 70 degrees outside. All right, so I have my form fields. Okay, card form fields, title. So those are my props, and this is button settings. And the selected type is method. So if I change this to C to D message, it changes to message, right? So this is good. My selected type is doing what I want it to do in terms of it being wired properly to the prop. And then I have type options. What is that? Direct method. Oh yeah, duh. Sorry. It's 8:30 where you are, Dremic. Where are you? If you don't mind my asking. 8:30 is a good time as well. I'm actually going to be back online streaming tonight at 8:30, doing something totally different. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set up a Google Coral dev board. If y'all are interested in coming back, I mean, I'm sure you could get enough of me just in one stream per day. But tonight, after I get my kids to bed, all the way from Serbia. Hey, Dremic. Actually, one of my favorite European countries is near you. I have never been to Serbia. I hate to say this, but I've spent a lot of time in Bulgaria over the years. I used to work for a company that had an engineering team based in Bulgaria. So I've been to Bulgaria like 15, 16 times. And I have a good friend who was from Serbia, who was there with me a lot and never dragged me out to Serbia. But I would love to go sometime. This is what I'm going to do tonight. I'm actually going to go through the setup for the new Coral dev board to run some TensorFlow stuff on a small little beefy single board computer. So that'll be at like 8:30 tonight. If you want to come back and hang out some more. Hopefully, I will get this working in the meantime. So, all right. So the one thing that you'll notice is that if I come in here and I change the method name from brew to foo, and then I save this, and then I go back in. That's been saved. So my call type has not been preserved, but my method name has. So I think ultimately I just need to do the same thing there. Figure out where the method name is being persisted and sort of just wire up the same way. So this is in tile.call payload. So where's the tile type? Oh yeah, that's in props. We don't have access to props, right? So tile call payload. Oh yeah, I'm the one that changed that time recently. Do you think that it's worth learning front-end development, or is it overused? I mean, I'm in Serbia and there are not so many developers there. Well, it's absolutely worthwhile learning front-end development. Dremic, I'll tell you this right now. It is worth learning what you are interested in. If you are interested in doing front-end development, there are a ton of career opportunities in front-end development. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, because there are every day more and more people that are willing to hire remote developers. There are part-time remote opportunities. There are great consulting remote opportunities. I have been working from home. This July, I've been working from home remote across several companies for 10 years. That's only half my career, but 10 years I've been working from home. And you can do it. You absolutely can. If you're interested in front-end development, go for it. Absolutely. If you're interested in other kinds of development, learn those as well. I will tell you this: like, keep an open mind in terms of what you want to learn. Try everything. Like, be a polyglot. Try doing mobile if you're interested. Try doing hardware stuff if you're interested. But it is like, just do what you are interested in doing, like learn what you want, and you will find opportunities, I promise you. And yeah, .commy's right. Pick a project you want to work on and decide what it is. Yeah, definitely scratch an itch based on something that you're looking to do, for sure. And if you choose web, you'll be doing some web front end. Yeah. I don't know if I'm living the dream. I mean, I love what I do. There's no question about that. But I still work, right? I mean, there's still days that feel like work and days that feel like fun. But being a developer, being an engineer, like writing code is I wouldn't trade this for anything. And I went through a period early in my career where I did not write code every day or often enough. And this is much more fun. So do it. And GrowGuard, yeah, I'm all self-taught, and I learned through years of making projects. Yeah, and you know what, I am too. I have a degree. I have a college degree, but my college degree is in like management information systems. It's basically a business degree. They taught us a little bit of coding, but I've been doing web development my entire career. And there was one class I had in college where one professor opened up Notepad on his like Windows 98 computer, opened up Notepad, and wrote ASP Classic for like 10 minutes. That was the extent of my web development training in college. Everything else past then was on the job, self-taught, everything else. Ceramic, thanks for the help. You're really nice. I wish I could donate to you, but I'm too young. No. Ceramic, no need. Just you being here asking questions is thanks enough. And hopefully you'll hang around and continue to ask questions, definitely. And Siva's absolutely right. Definitely, yeah, follow your heart. I love that. Yeah, don't worry, overthink about your surroundings. And keep hanging out on Twitch because there are some amazing streamers. There's been a few that have already been shared. Clark.io, Jesse Skinner, Dakami, Siva, Grillguard. If y'all think of others that I'm Frackberg, if you think of others that I'm forgetting, like follow all these folks, watch these folks' streams. Everybody loves to help, loves to answer questions, ask, even whatever you got. Definitely. Dakami, what is 98 SE? I'm missing. Did I say something? I may have missed the reference. That's okay. All right, so one of the changes I made was to the templates. And I'm wondering, I've been trying really hard not to like mess with the, templates too much. But this is appropriate that the button tile actually have. Oh, sorry. Yeah, see, .com, I don't even follow the script of like the track of what I'm saying. Yeah, y'all got me. Windows 98, second edition. I gotta go see it. I gotta go see that blue box with the flag. I don't remember if this is the one that Jennifer Aniston and Matthew Perry recorded the video for, but oh, where can I download Windows 98? Don't. Those were the days. Those were the days. Frackberg. Oh, .com, I'm fine here. I'm not getting any dropped frames. Like for once, I think it's not me. I've been pretty stable since I've tweaked a few things on my end. Frackberg, it wasn't far off of 98 Special Edition that I made the jump to Linux. Frackberg, what Linux distribution do you run? I'm curious. Siva, I thought it's weather like when 98 miles per hour in the southeast. So Siva, you're like me. You see things like that. You think cryptically, oh, sensor data. There's some sensor data coming along. Frackberg, I made the full switch around the time that WinXP was the new hotness. Depends on the week. So Frackberg, as a Linux person, tell me, because I got a Linux, talk about books recently. I got a Linux, like, getting started with like InfoSec pen testing stuff with Linux. And that book I'm pretty excited about is recommends using Kali. Like a lot of the InfoSec people use Kali Linux. So I was actually thinking about messing with that, trying that. .com, you have an MIS degree too? That's hilarious. I always say like MIS was half business, half programming, but the programming half wasn't very good. I mean, I had entire courses. How about this one? I had an entire semester course in college in 1998 on this. Power Builder. Power Builder. Did y'all ever use Power Builder? Ubuntu, Budgie. Yeah, see, but we're both spending a lot of time with sensors and data for sure. Frackbergs, I've been a Fedora user for a number of years. Kali is nice. Just make sure if you're running it and not doing something, you're not using the root user. Okay, that's good. Access DB. That's right. All right, now we are aging, dating ourselves big time. Okay. So in my tile, I have, okay, device ID, device method payload. Where's all that stuff? Device payload. Where are those things coming from? Because those aren't here. I'm gonna change that to call payload. I need to like refresh my. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can open up the right base card here. Boo, boo, boo. Use Arch, Debian, CentOS 7, Gentoo. Yeah, I've heard good things about Gentoo as well. So I've used Ubuntu. I've used Raspbian, the default Raspberry Pi distribution, a ton. The Google Edge TPU device, the Coral that I'm going to set up tonight uses Mendel. And that, I think, is their own distribution that they did. Use Gentoo, but not in the recent past. Why am I not getting my cards highlighted here? They were being highlighted. Now I have to, like, guess. All right, I'm going to another tab. I just saw something weird. And I'm wondering if maybe I just have a bunch of state cached through the View DevTools. Why do I do this to myself? Mendel. Yeah, here. Mendel. Not Mendeley. Not Mendeley. What? No. Mendel. Yeah. No. What? This is a person. All right, hold on. I'm not. I didn't forget, right? No, that's okay, Siva. In fact, were you saying you hadn't heard of it? So let me go back in here. I know, .com, I do need to get back into using these safety glasses. So, okay. I'll show you. Flashing a Mendel system image. I guess we'll find out tonight. I don't know if that's the distribution. So Mender is OTA to update firmware referenced by Google when it's in use, when it's in its IO. Really? Mendel. Well, that's confusing. I don't know. I'll see. I'll see what this ends up looking like tonight when I get back to this. Okay, yes. Let's get back into these View DevTools and figure out what's going on here. Select a component instance to inspect. No, Are you kidding? Oh, come on. What are you doing, View DevTools? You're killing me. All right, well, so ultimately what I was getting at, before I let myself get distracted again, was to come in here and actually move these settings, the type options, and select a type here. Yeah, so .commie, I read that the instructions from Google actually say that you need to have a Linux machine to set it up. I am not going to do that. We'll see how that goes tonight. I'm just going to run it. I'm just going to do it from my Mac. I mean, in a pinch, I could set up VirtualBox and do it that way, but that seems a little bit of overkill. And Frackberg, that's a good question. I would think if that's the case, and I have a Windows machine sitting here right next to me on my desktop, I could actually use the Windows subsystem for Linux if I had to. Or at least try it, right? Okay, so tile. Dramic, you're not being annoying at all. I love that question. No, please feel free to ask lots of questions. What should I learn for front-end development if I'm currently learning JavaScript, HTML, and CSS? If you're asking about learning a framework, I would actually recommend not. Not right away, at least. Spend a little bit of time just learning what people refer to as vanilla JavaScript and HTML and CSS. Like, learn those technologies without a framework for a little bit first, and take courses. And I think this is where like a code school is a great recommendation that Frackberg made earlier, because they'll teach you just JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and then later you can pick up a framework. And frankly, later there may be a brand new hot framework to try out. Yeah, JavaScript. Who's? Oh yeah, is that Jesse Skinner's emote? There you go. I just got it. JS, JavaScript, Jesse Skinner. I just got that. So ultimately what I want to do is I'm going to move this. I'm going to move call type. I don't need my route anymore. I don't need live hub or sim hub. Oh yeah, and they are your initials as well. That's right. So let's make call type and okay. I'm just gonna move that to the tile. Just call type. Or you know what? Hold on. Let me try something real quick. Maybe I'm making this harder on myself on purpose. Like, what if I just did selected type and then I didn't have... Would it preserve it from each time? It's a good resource. Hour of Code, yeah. So Dremic Hour of Code is really cool because you basically, it's just sort of a daily challenge, right? Like with anything, one of the ways that we grow is by forcing ourselves to just try something a little bit every day. Frackberry, that's true, huh? That's funny. An hour of code is really great for just go through something every day, something new, a little bit at a time. It's a really neat. That's what I try to do. I usually will take time every morning to read, to try to learn something new, go through tutorials, what have you. It's pretty neat. Yeah, Dremic, start with the free stuff. Definitely start with the free stuff wherever you can find it. I know it seems like more and more of this stuff requires a payment of some kind, but definitely start with the free stuff. Because there's a lot out there. Sometimes you have to find it, but there's a lot out there. All right, so what if I do like, let me make sure I haven't like, I'm still building, right? Okay. So if I refresh, and that's just gonna clean it out. But if I change that to C to D message, and then hit it again, it's just empty. Okay, so that didn't really help me. Because I need to persist it outside of the life cycle of this object, of this item itself. Fragberg, I'm going to assume that your name is the same as mine. Dremic, I have school in the morning from 7 to 1400, and then I come home. I do like an hour of learning jQuery, figuring out stuff about programming. 45 minutes and one. Absolutely, it's enough. Because, hey, I know this is going to sound pithy, but it's like 45 minutes longer than not doing it at all. I mean, you have, in that 45 minutes, you have changed your brain. Even if it's just a little bit. Like, you have actually changed something about what you know, what you understand. 45 minutes absolutely is enough. If it is 45 minutes of focus. If you're like me and it's like 45 minutes, but you're also like on your phone, checking Twitter, I'm bad about that. Like, I got to put the devices away. But if it's like heads down, 45 minutes, absolutely it's enough time. It absolutely is enough time. Just think about that over the course of a year or a month. You know, 45 minutes a day over a month means you have invested hours, several hours, like dozens of hours into developing a new skill and learning something, which is awesome. So that piece didn't work. So what I'm going to do here instead is I'm actually going to do call type method. Yeah, Dakami and Siva are right. Like, be consistent and definitely don't expect overnight results. Like, you've got to time. You got to take time. No, hold on a sec. Fragberg, you found a website that used the latest census data to tell you how many people in the world have your last name. There were 160 people in the world with your name, 112 were in the US. Could you share that website? Because I have always assumed that there's no one else in the world that has the name Brandon Satrum. But I would love, or maybe there is. That'd be crazy. Okay. So I'm going to do call type method here, and we're just going to use the tile, right? That's what we're going to do here, is use the tile object and see if that ends up persisting. So instead of selected type, it's going to be anywhere I see selected type here, I'm going to change all occurrences to tile.callType. And hopefully this won't break everything. No, it looks like it did. Why'd you break? Tile.callType. Oh, that's because I need to like not have it in here. Change it in like one place too many. Oh, Fragberg, that's hilarious. I got an angry text from my wife the other day because someone with my name had a wedding announcement in the paper. All right, so this is working. Oh, well, maybe it's working. Edit. Oh, that did it. Sweet. It's a quick change. I mean, with all of the like, you know, squirreling and whatnot. That's what I need. I need another one of those. Instead of the table flip clip, I need a clip from Up with the dogs and the squirrel thing. I need to add one of those. I'm tempted to crash the weddings. And y'all are in the same state. That is nuts. All right, so now if I save that and I edit, sweet. I'm in the message. Boom. Edit. If I change it to method, boom. Edit. Yes. Now we are, as they like to say, myself included, in the South, cooking with gas. Cooking with charcoal is better. But we're cooking with gas. Something like that. Okay. So that was actually one of the things I wanted to change. So see the message saved. Perfect. Great. I feel like I might need one of those kapows. It's maybe kapowworthy.com. I'll leave that to you though. I'm not gonna presume. You wield the kapow at your discretion. Okay. Oh, I'm still in fermentation mode, huh? Okay, so I actually feel pretty darn good about that. There we go. There's the kapow. Thank you. So just have all the same things here changed. I don't want to check in my .env file. In fact, how do you change? It would probably, I know this is going to be a bit of a sidebar, but like, how do you change your global get ignore? This is what I need. I need a global get ignore because the two files that I always get. Yes, okay, this is what I want. Y'all let me sidebar for just a second because I've been meaning to do this for a while. And then Dremic, I'll come back and answer your question, I promise. Get ignore global. Yes. I'm opening up Vim, everybody. Now I'm stuck here. So the two things that I want to add are .env, because that always becomes an issue, and then the stupid Mac DS Store folder. Oh, makes me want to switch 100 full-time back to Windows just for that. Stupid DS Store. Don't even get me started. All right. Add some values and then run this command. Okay. Okay. Well, if that did it, then I should be able to get status and .env. Is it only going to work if I like reload the terminal window? Probably. Boop. I don't have time for this. I did add .env, right? Did it do like an entire new terminal instance? Frackberg, I got a new Castle Brown clone in the fermenter right now. Oh, very nice. That's fantastic. So yeah, Dremic, ultimately what I am working on is a piece of hardware. This is what's on the desk here. This is a piece of hardware, microcontroller with a display, a temperature sensor, and a little microcontroller called the particle Argon that monitors temperatures during brewing. and allows me to, and so this dashboard actually helps me monitor that and control it. So, hey, Cake.js, how you doing? Does the red text on your terminal point to the current host user you're shelling as? Yes. This is me and the name of my computer. It does. What was I doing? Oh yeah. All right, forget it. Thank you, Cake.js. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a fun little reminder to have that. I'm switching around. And you're right in time, because I was actually just about to do some cleanup on the dashboard here. It is good to go. But so Dremic, ultimately what happens is the dashboard allows me to control the various state of, oh, no it didn't. Nothing went wrong. Everything is fine. Oh, you know what? I wonder if I needed to change that in the, what else am I changing here? I need to actually test that. My button card, right? Hold on, button card.view. I need to get this tile.call type, right? In the call type? Did that change break something? I may have changed something. So when I click stop, something went wrong. Where would that be coming from? Here. So let me console log my API URL. See if I did something wrong in this change. I must have. Oh, or maybe it could be that I shut down the stinking server because I restarted the terminal. Oh, what's wrong with me? Yeah, it doesn't work if the server's not running, Brandon.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Oops, no! Is right.
No!
I mean, at least we didn't spend the next 20 minutes trying to debug that. You know? At least I realized it relatively quickly. Right. Okay. Give me my dashboard back. All right, so Dremic, I can actually click stop and it takes me back in. So when I'm actually brewing beer, what happens is that the temperature sensor, which is sitting here on my desk, it's not actually right now reading anything other than just like the ambient temperature in the room. Where'd it go? Right there. But that's actually posting data. So I can keep track of beer, like the wort, while I am in the process of brewing beer. And then fermentation mode just checks to see make sure that fermentation starts within 24 to 48 hours. More accurately, been there, broke that so many times. Frackberg, so many times. I've broken all the things. Okay. So great. So then the last thing that I need to do before I submit a pull request here is actually check Sousa's docs here to see how I can run simulated mode. because I want to make sure that sim mode is working. And then I also need to grab some screenshots for the pull request. So let's do that. Let me do that real quick. I want to make sure the pull request has some nice... This is something I want to deal with in a different PR, because that's all me. But no, here. I'm gonna grab some. Grab some screenshots really quick. I'm doing this because I do want to like submit this PR on the stream. I'm not making you watch me just grab screenshots just because. All right. So back in the docs, or back in the project, installation. Oh, I guess actually I know I can do it here. 2 streams at once in my Faraday cage of an office seems to be a little much for my Wi-Fi today. Ah! I hear that, Fragberg. I do that. I have another, like I said, I have a Windows machine sitting here and I've done bouncing multiple streams. Hopefully they're both good streams. Who else are you watching? Because maybe we'll just raid over there in 45 minutes when I'm done. I saw that C# Fritz just went online. I got a message on my phone. Okay, I wanted to open... Oh, cool, he's hosting a panel. Great. Maybe we shall raid over there. So package.json. Oh, cool. And he's doing like here. All right, so I'm gonna. I want to see in another tab. All right. How do you run the simulator? So I would assume that there would actually be a way to run the simulated dashboard here. Oh, he's got like a panel of people IRL. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, that's great. Good stuff. Okay, so then what's the way to run the simulator? I mean, I don't want to... Okay. I don't want to submit this pull request. Trying to keep it with both. I love the hardware hacking though. Oh, thanks, Frankberg. I appreciate it. This is... I love doing this kind of stuff because I feel like I'm all over the place, which is you all have seen by now is definitely me. Oh, simulating equals true. Okay, cool. That's what I'm looking for. That's the magic. That's the magic piece. So if I come out and we go back to... I'm gonna run node bip simulating true. See what that does. Well, I'll blow everything up. All right. Going to another instance here with my simulation mode using simulated data. Great, okay. Nothing is breaking. Great, okay. So I have some dummy devices. AZ316, Tesla 2, Gen. Let me check the inspector. No errors. Save. Save. Okay. Well, it looks like it still runs even in simulation mode. So I think we can feel pretty confident this is going to work and submit a pull request to Electric IO, which I'm super pumped about because I've been using Electric IO for so long, and it's a great tool that Suze has poured a lot of time and effort into, and I am excited to be able to support it. Hopefully they will like the changes. Let me make sure I've got everything cleaned up here. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and how do I unstage this? I'm going to unstage that change. Great. Oh, maybe that was the issue. Maybe that was why, because the change was already staged. No, it's still trying to do it. All right. Let's just do those. Okay. And I'll figure out what the deal is with my .env or later. Cool. All right. So we're going to say git add, commit, added, C2D message, support on button cards. Oh, so this is an awesome pre-commit hook in here for everything. 7. Let's fixes and push. So now we're going to do a GG push. Wait, what? Oh. Do I have it cloned? I only have an origin remote. Yeah, duh. I don't actually have direct. Fork it. Alright, so I need to fork Electric IO. Critical step that I forgot to take earlier. No worries though, because we will do git remote add okay. Git push b origin master. No, it's not. Hold on, what? I don't. All right, hold on. How do you push? It should be. I have that branch. My git poo's failing me for a moment. Oh wait. What's the git push? There's something in the git push syntax I think I'm doing. Yep. No upstream branch. So git push set, yep, upstream. The origin feature. Now we have it. Now we have it, yo. Right? If it's there, yes. Your recently pushed branches. Great. Okay. This needs an appropriate emoji of some kind. Oh no. How did my end file get committed? Ah, I'm so annoyed. Did I do a git add? Oh, I did it. Ah, I'm so... I really have to get that fixed. Right? Absolutely, CakeJS. Get what fixed? This is pretty much how I would describe it at this point. Unstage. And stop doing that. Alright. It's probably, I did it to myself just by reflex, right? Git commit. What was my message? Added C2D message support to... Ah, no worries, Frackberg. Ah, I'm sorry about that. Sorry that you had to do that. Added to message support to button type. Okay, great. So now I just need to like... What? Oh, it's probably rejected because the tip of your current branch is to... How about just git... How about git push force? Because it's my fork. I'm gonna force it. Oh, I'm glad it's good grades. Okay, what happened? So please tell me that my end was not in there. I hate it when I do crap like that to myself. Like, I just wasted 5 minutes of my own time because just for being a bonehead, right? All right, no env, right? No .env in here. Okay, great. I gotta play it up like I'm upset about his report card and tell him how proud I am of A's and B's. Gotta keep him. Oh, I love it. Gotta keep things interesting. He doesn't like school. I went through those periods. I mean, I think I actually hated school until I was in 8th grade, and then something just clicked when I was in 8th grade. Up until that point, because I was that kid that, again, this should come as no surprise. Like, I wouldn't sit still. I couldn't stay on my desk. I'd get up to sharpen my pencil every 2 minutes, and so I always got like behavior stuff that sort of branded me as not a great student because I couldn't sit still. Like, I couldn't, be the typical like sit still at your desk kind of student. Man, Frackfurt, middle school. Like, don't we all wish that we could just like tell our kids and our younger selves like, hey, this time right now stinks, but it's gonna be okay, Oh, .com, no worries. Watching Gemma run fiber housing. Oh, they're still working on the fiber stuff. Oh, Frankfurt, that was my sister-in-law is dyslexic, and she didn't know until she was older, as well. I was actually diagnosed with ADHD when again, it comes as no surprise. My mom was told that I had ADHD. I don't know if it was a full diagnosis, but she was told I had ADHD, and she refused to put me on medication, which I'm grateful for, and I feel like it was the right decision because I don't think, believe it or not, I actually don't think that I have it. I think that I have focus issues, but maybe not to the same degree. All right. So I want to pull in some... Here, I'm going to get... These screenshots that I grabbed a little while ago, I want to pull these in. I want to create a nice, well-described commit or message here. Squirrel! That's right. It'd be cool to add cloud to device message support to the button card type for cases where you want to send a message but don't have a direct method. To a device but don't have a direct method to call, or don't need a response. .com, your story matches mine. Yeah. Oh, Frankfurt, the only reason I went to high school graduation is because I felt like like my parents wouldn't have it any other way. Like I had to go. You didn't go to college until you're in your 30s. There's no shame. That's fine. You were probably a better student in your 30s than I was in my late teens and 20s. I'll tell you that. And do you all ever think about, like, I have no clue what a college education is going to look like for my kids. Like, we do the whole, like, save for your kids' college thing, but my wife and I have candid conversations. Like, we're not entirely certain that the college thing is even strictly, I mean, it's not even strictly necessary, depending on what they want to do. Like, we're not going to insist that they do it. We'll support them if they do, but I think education is changing so much. I don't even know. And that's the other problem. You ran out of money. Like, I mean, I would have to save 80% of my paycheck to send all three of my kids to college. Like, there's realistically, like, it's insane how much it costs. So I'm not sure that this approach is 100% correct, but I added a drop down to the button settings that lets you choose between sending a method, calling a method, or sending a message. Hey, Frackberg, that's me too. I am over 40. I'm turning 41 this July. And I don't know what I want to be when I grow up either. Hopefully I figure it out in time. Kids are far enough apart in age that there'll only be a year or two overlap. My older two are 19 months apart, and the youngest is 3 months younger, 3 years younger than 3 months younger. 3 years younger than the middle. So but there'll be overlap all across the board. Yeah, July birthdays. That's right. July 31st here. Very last day in July. Lets you choose between calling a method or sending a message. In addition, if you select a message, the method name input is hidden. I'll do a screenshot there. Let me know what you think. Thanks again for all your awesome work on Electric IO. All right, so I have a few screenshots here that I would like to pull in. Just gonna make sure I know which is which. Let's see. that's not that one. 13th. Share mine with Han Solo and Cheech. I don't think I realized that Cheech, that's funny. That Han Solo's birthday was July 13th. Right? So I got 3. Let's see, what did I want to do here? Oh yeah, okay. So let's add that one there. I love this feature of GitHub. You don't have to like go and find some other place to put images. .com, you'll have 3 in college at the same time if they choose to go, but I agree, I have no idea what that'll look like in over a decade. Yeah. For sure. I have 8 years. My oldest just turned 10 yesterday. And that was fun. So he turned 10 yesterday, and 10, I like to treat 10 as kind of a big milestone. So I took him camping last night, just he and I. Cut out of work early, we went camping, we went on a hike. Stayed at some campsite nearby, froze our tails off this morning getting back here. It wasn't too far, but that was a blast and just sort of a way to signify the importance of turning 10. But yeah, in 8 years, he could go to college, right? The Rubik's Cube inventor. Interesting. So I think that's the one. Oh wait, no, if method name is not chosen, I don't want that to be. There we go. That's the one I wanted to do. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, .com. It was just the 2 of us. And I'll do that with all 3 of them, but went on a hike, talked about all kinds of stuff. A lot of Legend of Zelda talk, which is great. Very common interest for us. All right, let me proofread this here. It would be cool to add clouded device message support to the button card type for cases where you want to send a message to a device but don't have a direct method to call or don't need a response. I'm not sure that this approach is 100% correct, but I added a drop down to the button settings that lets you choose between calling a method or sending a message. In addition, if you select a message, the method name input is hidden. Let me know what you think. Thanks again for all your awesome work on Electric I/O. Okay. So call device method. Oh yeah, let's see. Finally, I'll add the note on that too. Since both types are sharing payload support, I genericized the name. And I know that's not correct. And built-in spell check. Okay, fine. I made the name generic. Okay. So then Live Hub, I added the route. Change that new route. Let's see. Change the sim hub. Add a comma. Made the API URL base. Move the API URL down here. Call it. Some silly little changes there. Camping is your favorite form of vacation? I like it a lot, Frackberg. I don't like it when it's super cold, and I do not love it that my back always hurts the next day. That's another issue altogether. Hey, we have a pull request. We have submitted a pull request to Electric I/O. I'm pretty jazzed about that. So this is fun. We actually got a long way. Did the things that I wanted to do there. So now we can actually, I think, turn back to, oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to do today was mess with the firmware payloads, right? So I'm going to close out the Electric I/O stuff because I think we're good on that now. And we'll see what happens. So do I still have Electric I/O running? I'm getting a pretty consistent temperature. You'll see that now this switches to NAND. Because what happens is it's looking at the individual payload for a fermentation rate. So in order for this to work right now, I need to actually make my data properties consistent across all my devices. So I need to change the way I'm sending those firmware updates. Hammocks saved my desire to camp, but you have to be able to sleep in a hammock. Some people can't. I'll tell you what I can do in a hammock. I can relax in a hammock. I can read a good book in a hammock, but sleeping in a hammock, I cannot. I actually have, and I'll total like sidebar, but I have an autoimmune disease that affects my spine and my back. Like I stretch like crazy and all that kind of stuff, and it helps, but there are certain things that set me off. And so like sleeping, drink beer in a hammock. Yes. Why did I not say that? Frankfurt, you're right. That's much better than reading a book in a hammock. Drink beers. Exactly right. But so hammocks don't work for me and that whole thing. This I. Oh, that's weird. Minor little hiccups. Okay. So what I want to do in firmware now for the last little bit that we have, or at least start it right now, is change the message that I'm sending. Right. So in my loop, where I'm sending every couple of minutes. You know, here's my post interval. So I think what I want to do is just do a single post with the latest values instead of these separate post temp, post fermentation rate. And then just add them all. And so what I will do is I'll go ahead and send along the temperature, the fermentation rate, and then and also the battery charge, because why not? I have it, I'm tracking it. Your wife has a genetic thing that messes with her connective tissue and skeletal structure. She's had a hard time with hammocks too. That's good that she lets you have that. That me time is pretty important. So this is going to require a little bit of as I do particle publish, because right now I'm doing like the message base brew / temp, message base ferment / rate. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a common post, and then I'll clean up and remove all the other ones. Right? So let's create a new one here, and I'm in the firmware now. So let's call this just like post. Let's call it post sensor data. Whatever. And we're just going to do message base plus latest. And from here, I'm going to actually create I started using this Json serializer object that I think I can use here. Or a Json parser generator. This is not something I'm probably going to finish in the next 15 minutes, but we'll go ahead and start working on it now. Jazzed about getting that pull request done. Json. I know. So Frankfurt, do you pronounce it Json? I know that there's some debate about this. So I want to build up a JSON object. Here we go, the JSON generator piece. So this, so I need a JSON writer. Okay, that's fine. So this is what I want. So I'm going to create The most common use is to construct a static buffer to hold JSON data for particle publish. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. So up at my top here, so I have my JSON parser. I will do a JSON writer as well. Jason is hard to pronounce with a southern accent. I haven't quite lost. I agree. I still have a bit of one too. I mean, at least I think I do. Jason writer. Yeah, where am I down here? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna. What is this? To make this easier. Oh, sweet. Okay. The JSON writer handles nested objects and arrays, but does so without creating temporary copies of objects. Because of this, it's necessary to use start object, start array, and finish object. To make this easier, the JSON writer auto object can be instantiated on the stack. Love that. When the stack object goes out of scope, it'll automatically close the object, so you'll use it like this. Great. JSON writer auto object. I'm signing up for that. Handles all of the messy memory management. JSON writer. So here's what I want to do. I want to create an object that has 3 values. So JSON writer dot insert key value. We're going to do that 3 times. Right? We're going to do one for temperature. So this gives me, so can I just ultimately pass that object in? I was somewhere between Boomhauer from King of the Hill and Larry the Cable Guy when I first moved north. That's funny. All right, I'm gonna have to figure that part out here in a second, but that's okay. So I want temperature, I want fermentation rate. And fermentation tate, and I want battery charge. Got made fun of a lot. Oh, that stinks. I'm sorry to hear that. It's no fun. So the values I want will be, I should be storing the last, right? Last temp, fermentation rate, and where's my battery stuff? I'll figure that out in a second. So last temp. Fermentation rate, and where are ya? Where are ya? I don't think it's too noticeable anymore, but it comes out when I've been drinking. That's true for me as well. When I'm drinking or when I'm super tired. So tired. I get that. All right, am I not storing my battery sensor reading anywhere? Forgive me for the scrolling. Check battery level. All right, fine. I'll just get it right then. If we're gonna be that way. Is that gonna work? No, that should work. That should be fine. Doesn't matter what type it is. Right? Doesn't like it? That's good. Okay. So if I have the JSON writer static, What else is in here? Yeah, okay. Oxygen. When I'm done with it, how do I... All right, let me go into the examples for this and see how this is being used. Back to hammocks just for a minute. I have to say, drinking a beer in a hammock while watching either of my kids mow the grass. Oh, Fragbeard, that's great. You're right about that. I haven't, my kids don't mow the grass yet. I need to get on that. Oh, just get buffer. Okay, well, all right. So JSonWriter.getBuffer. That's what I'm looking for, huh? Okay, well this should be all that I need to actually publish posting the sensor data, right? Seriously, those are some nice goals. I like that. So I'm gonna change my to go pick up thing 1 from D&D Club. Have a good final 10 minutes. Thanks, Fretberg. Yeah, appreciate you coming and hanging out today. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. It's a good chat today. And thanks again for the bits, for the donation, for fermentation. Where's my TFT speed? Where is it? Check interval. I'm cracking up. Post interval. There we go. Let's just post every 10 seconds. Just for a moment. All right. We're gonna flash. Let's flash this. I want to make sure it works and see what the message looks like, and then sort of go through the fun of I need to configure a new, not configure new, but change my integration. Change one of my IoT Hub integrations, so I'm getting the right thing. Change one, delete the others. All right. All right, let's get everybody back online here. These coding safety glasses like hurt my ears underneath these headphones. Gotta figure that out. Can I be uncode safe for the next 5 minutes of my stream? Okay. Whoa, what temperature? Why did I do that 3 times? Oh, ugh. I'm gonna do that like every time, like clear it. Oh, you know what? I don't need that because it's going to get bigger every time, isn't it? No, it's not. Weird. Or it's just as large as it, that it just added more. Okay. Bug in the code, bug in the code, bug in the code, bug in the code. This does not need to be global because I'm only using it. I'm only using it down here. So that should be enough. All right. Let's see how we're doing now. Okay, that's done. Atrocity Zero, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Awesome. And welcome in. We're just about to wrap up today. We're actually going to roll on over to C#. I think we're going to roll over to our C# Princess channel since he's having the live discussion. Might go on there right now, but that looks like fun. Okay. So I am back online. And let's see, that's 357. So this should be correct now. Cool. All right. Fixed a bug. Awesome. Isn't it so cool to fix bugs quickly? This is what I want. Temperature. I don't like temperature, fermentation rate, battery charge. Cool. Great. So I'm happy with that. So I think what I'm gonna do next is change my integration. Squashed it without the glasses. I know .com, it's super dangerous. I don't know what I was thinking. Probably not a great idea. All right, I'm going to remove this one. Come and delete this integration. Yes, delete. I am going to go into this one and I'm going to change it. Forgive me for just a second, because I need to change some BB. Save. Let me take a look at the payloads that are coming across. Okay. I'm gonna refresh. And then see what I've got. 359. So what am I getting coming across? Data. Okay, so data now is temperature, fermentation. It's happening. We're getting it. This is great. The final piece is that I need to transform this into a flat structure of temperature, fermentation rate, and battery charge. And so I'm going to need to come in here and edit this again. So this is the way that it's going to work. Right? How's that going to work? Cancel that. There's docs on this. I need to go. Oh, and it's 4 o'clock. We're out of time. I'm sure you already answered this, but are you using the free Azure IoT Hub tier? Yes, .commie, I am. I am using the free Azure IoT Hub tier. So this is all, everything that I'm doing is available on the free tier, which is cool. Yeah, that's kind of what I prefer to do. But I just realized it's 4. I've got to drop. I'm sure that you all do as well. And let's just raid over into C# Fritz, because that would be kind of fun. Looks like he's having a fun discussion. So I'm going to do that. We're going to raid on over there. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. It was fun hanging out. I'm glad we got some stuff working. Check in again next week. Thanks, .commie, so much. I appreciate that. And we'll talk to y'all again really soon. So take care. Have a great rest of your day. Happy weekend. Peace.